interesting because the first penalty always is interesting to see, if they put it away, the pressure is right on Kolkata.
I like Adeldo in goal, and I think Santos is going to be stepping forward first for FC Goa to take the penalty. I like to judge the body language of players before they actually take their penalties.
It gives away a lot.
I don't know how to judge that. He looks a bit dejected. You can definitely tell he's tired. A bit of a smile on his face, shakes the referee's hand. He's going to pick up the ball to take the first penalty. Adele in goal, I think, is a beast. I think he's a star from this Kolkata team. I've been very impressed with him throughout the tournament. Looks very focused. Santos looks far too relaxed for my liking. I don't know if I should put hands over my eyes, but the first penalty is to be taken by Santos for FC Goa. He steps up, makes his run up, and he's blown it over the bar. And judging, his hands are in his hands are in his head. Head's in his hand, I should say.
And the first penalty is really important.
He skied that over.
Really, really important. And now, it's going to give Kolkata some really serious belief. But, there's still 5 penalties to go.
Yeah. And the first penalty missed by Santos. We've now got Kolkata to take their first one. It's going to be Josemi. Cedar in goal. First penalty. We still haven't seen a goal in this tie yet. Is this going to be the first goal? Ozemi steps up and puts it straight into the bottom corner.
Goalkeeper did go the right way.
Great penalty. That is a superb penalty. Bottom right corner. Keeper got a hand to it.
Goalkeeper got a hand to it. It went the right way.
Bit unfortunate for the keeper there.
This next one, Goa definitely have to put it away because if they don't...
the 2-goal potential advantage opens up. So 1-0 to Kolkata on penalties. Adele takes his position in goal. Stepping up for FC Goa will shortly announce...
I think Santos' body language did tell us quite a bit.
Yeah. Osbey, the substitute who came on, is going to step up. Again, he doesn't look too convincing for me. Long run-up, steps up, puts it straight into the left-hand side, and that's the first goal for FC Goa.
And that's a good penalty.
Great penalty under pressure, and it's now 1-1. Superb penalty. Keeper went the wrong way. And it's now 1-1 in penalties. Stepping up next will be Kolkata.
And I think it seems to me from his body language that he looks like he could miss this one.
I don't know. I think he looks quite focused. Big puff of the cheeks from both keeper and player. Manager looking on with a bit of worriness. Rafi will step up to take this penalty to put Kolkata 2-1 in the lead. Looks at the ref, takes his run up, and he puts it into the right-hand corner.
Good penalty.
Great penalty.
Good penalty.
Sends the keeper the wrong way.
So far, Kolkata have done really well with their 2 penalties.
Yeah, they look a lot more prolific. I mean, Santos, you would think, as an experienced player, would put his away, but it's the curse of the commentator. FC Goa now stepping up to take their third. It's currently Athletico de Kolkata leading 2-1 on penalties after Santos missing the first for Goa.
And there's nothing that a manager can do in a situation like this.
No, it is a lottery. Adele looks too focused for me. I think there could be a save. We predicted 2. Up comes Amory, the right back. And he's hit the crossbar!
He hit the crossbar.
Why has he tried to do that? And the faces on the Goan fans are as disbelieved as me. Zico's face even more so. He's gone for placement there, and the crossbars come to the aid of the Kolkata keeper, and it remains 2-1. 2 missed penalties for FC Goa.
And now it's an uphill task. It's a mountain to climb now.
A smile on the face from the Kolkata player as he steps forward. This goes in, and I don't fancy anything to happen. Cedar's been away from both penalties.
I wonder how the manager's heart there is from the Kolkata.
A more confident-looking penalty taker for Kolkata steps up, and he buries that into the top corner.
I've had 3 fantastic penalties so far, Kolkata.
Yeah, Joffrey there, who came on for the well-known Luis Garcia, puts his penalty away. That's what I think FC Goa player was trying to do, but this penalty has to go in now, or it's game over, tournament over for FC Goa. Again, not a convincing look on his face. I'm going to have to put my hands in my on my mouth here. This is going to be...
I think if this goes in, then they're still having a glimmer of hope.
It's Miranda to step up. He takes it, and he's put it in. Come on.
And that's a good penalty.
That's a great penalty under pressure.
So that still keeps him in it. You know, the next one could be missed.
So if this goes in, FC Goa are out. We need a save or a miss, but this guy, the captain for Kolkata, Bojan, FC Goa fans are already starting to leave. I think they're preempting this to go in. A lot of uncertainty, but Borja steps up, this goes in, and it's tournament over for FC Goa. Cedar steps up in goal. Borja to win it for Athletico de Kolkata. And he's put it in, and it's tournament over.
And
FC Goa are out.
Yep. It's good penalty. And they've had, to be fair to them, they've put away some fantastic penalties.
Every penalty for Kolkata has been good.
To be fair to Kolkata, they've put away the penalties very well.
It's
unfortunate because Goa had all those chances in the first half, second half, extra time. They had a lot of possession, and they just weren't clinical enough. And perhaps they could look back on that penalty decision as well.
It comes back to what I said before. I mean, we should have won this game in the first leg. A bit more prolific up front. You just need to get those goals. And to be honest, Kolkata do deserve this because, as I said, the longer this game goes, the more the pendulum will swing in their favour because you can... I haven't seen a team defend for 210 minutes like Kolkata have. And in fairness, their penalties were spot on. Like, they were perfectly placed.
Well, there goes Martin Munish's
prediction. I actually did say before the game I think Kolkata would win, but I'm upset in making that prediction because, unfortunately, Goa just weren't good enough.
The longer the game went on, the more likely you were thinking that it is going to be 1-0 somewhere. You know, and it was looking more like Goa because they were going forward constantly. And I think that penalty decision is they're going to look back on it because I think that really did look a Stonewall penalty. They may question that looking back on it, and I think the referees actually perhaps bottled that one.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, just if you've just joined us, it's a dismal day. It's FC Goa have been knocked out of the Indian Super League knockout stages on penalties 4-2. The first two penalties missed by FC Goa. Clinical finishing and good penalties, it has to be said, by Athletico de Kolkata, and I think they deserve it. But this makes for good entertainment for the final because you've now got Athletico de Kolkata versus Kerala Blasters, and Kerala, I think, could just edge this. You know, they narrowly broke into the playoffs on the last day of the season, and you don't score 3 goals against league leaders Chennai without being good.
Well, Kerala have got goals in them, whereas Kolkata don't look like they've got goals in them on open play.
Yeah.
I mean, today their best opportunity was penalties, I would say. Maybe, they were playing for it. Who knows? From the beginning, because Goa always looked like the more likely that they were looking like as if they were more interested in sort of getting that first goal. Kolkata just didn't seem interested, like they wanted to sort of score a goal. And that's why you saw shots from 20, 25 yards, set pieces, free kicks.
Yep.
That was going to be their best opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much a case of the expectancy of either holding or... For them to hold in the way that they did was so... It takes a lot of discipline, and they played well when they needed to, and by hook or by crook, and I don't necessarily think it's by crook. I think they've set themselves out to defend against a very attacking Goan team, but for Goa, they need... For next season, if they want to take this seriously and get further than that they did, going forward, they have to be a bit more clinical.
Well, I think one thing that they can be really happy about is obviously that they've got a solid defence. They haven't been beaten in open play. They've been beaten on a penalty shootout. And, they can build on that solid defence because now what they can say for next season is that we need to get more firepower up front and perhaps better wingers.
Yeah, I mean, winger-wise, I think... Miranda on the left-hand side, right-hand side, and then you had Romeo on the right-hand side. I think being creative, I don't think that's so much an issue. I think it is that final third of them being a bit more prolific, where they need to just react quicker.
That's right.
Not panic when they get into the final third. We saw it on so many occasions today where they'd get into the edge of the box and then panic and not know where to play the ball. And
they weren't quick enough, and they weren't decisive enough. I mean, Romeo, so many times we saw him get through on that side, and every time he got through, he gave the ball back to the Kolkata player.
Yeah, it's frustrating. For those of you joining us, I'm a dejected man for a reason. My team, FC Goa, have not made it through to the finals, which is so unbearable. But it was a great game of football, and deservedly so. I think Kolkata have gone through. So in the final, we're going to see Kolkata versus Kerala. It's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, it would be interesting, definitely. And I think in a one-off final, anybody can win. I just think Kerala got the obviously goals in them, and Kolkata. But then again, football's a funny game.
Yep.
Anything can happen on a one-off basis. I mean, this semi-finals, obviously they were two-legged.
Yep.
So even if you were losing from the first leg, you still have an opportunity to sort of redeem yourself and come back in the second leg, as we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
Chennai were obviously losing 3-0 from the first leg, and they came back and scored 3 goals. But in a final, you don't get the opportunity.
Yeah, and I think as well, what's important to note is that Kerala will have an extra day rest. I mean, Kolkata have played 120 minutes of football. They've got tomorrow, Friday, and then the final on Saturday.
That's right.
So Kerala, in theory, based on logic, will be fitter. They'll be hungry for this as well, because you don't just creep into a playoff and not use that as fuel to add to your fire.
That's right.
So
that's right.
I'm just looking through actually a few of the statistics for the game, and Goa dominated the entire match and chances, possession, but at the end of the day, they just weren't good enough in front of goal. So I'm just having a quick look at Kerala. I mean, it's going to be Luis Garcia, the marquee player from Athletico versus Kolkata, to play David James's team. And I think you're right. Kerala are a stronger team. They've got some really good players. They've got McAllister, the Scottish defender, who I was quite impressed with in the game on Saturday. They've got...
And McAllister's been around quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's played at some good clubs in the Premier League.
Yeah. And also Michael Chopra as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he'll feature.
Ex-Newcastle player.
Yeah. And as we touched upon, obviously the first recognised Indian player in the Premiership. And Pearson, who scored the match winner for them last night to put them into position of a final. So I think it's going to make for an interesting final, which you can join us here on Sports Tonight Live for. We'll be covering that on Saturday morning. Please check our Facebook and our Twitter pages for more information. But it's pinning David James, Premiership experience, a great leader, and obviously he's shown some good attributes to get this team there. And then you've got Luis Garcia, who obviously may not even feature after getting injured in this game. What's your kind of prediction, or what do you think is going to happen in this final based on what you've seen?
As I said, I think Kerala look like they've got more goals in them. And Kolkata, they might be looking to play the same way as they've just done with the Goa.
Yep.
In the same way, in terms of hitting a team on the counter-attack. That seems to me that could be the same way. And it could be a 1-0, it could be a 2-0, or it could be a 3-0 to Kerala.
I've just had my producer in my ear saying that I look very glum, and based on my affiliation with FC Goa, I think that expression is probably due. Obviously, rooting FC Goa, posting photos beforehand of me in my shirt. I'm going to have to take those down now and get the abuse out. I'm
glad I was a neutral here.
Yeah, but no, I mean, just to very quickly wrap up, I mean, FC Goa are out. Athletico Kolkata will play Kerala Blasters in the final, which you can watch here live on Saturday morning. Please follow on Twitter. I'd like to thank you for coming on. Anything you want to shout out before we finish up?
No, it's been an absolute pleasure to be on this show. Thank you very much to yourself and Manisha for inviting.
We'll have to wrap you up there. That's too quick. Yep. But thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on Saturday. Thanks a lot.